What up, everybody? We made it. Season 12. The British Men of Letters are here of Supernatural. This is part 1. We are going to go through episodes 1 through 8 of season 12, which in my personal opinion, I will say is worse than the Leviathan season. I will stand on that every single day. But let's first things first. I'm Matt. With me as always is Lauren. The reason why we're here talking Supernatural, she finally got me to watch it. So we're recapping leading up to the 20th anniversary in September. Now, if you want more Supernatural content, we've done panels at MegaCon Orlando. You can go back and watch on our YouTube page. We've been reviewing every single season. Whether we've been going through it fast or not is irrelevant, folks. We are here. Okay. That's all that matters. You can find that on any podcasting platform. You can go to our YouTube, like, subscribe, share, follow for more Supernatural content. And of course, for any pop culture content, because we love talking comic books, movies, TV shows, we typically feature a beer of the week. Hopsgeeknews is where you can find us. So I am going to go ahead and tell you about my beer, which normally we do a beer of the week. We go into what we've been reading or watching, some news, then our main topic. However, with Supernatural, it's just pure Supernatural episodes, which, if that's your thing, is even better. So I'm drinking a unicycle from Crank Arm Brewing in Raleigh. It's got a sloth on a unicycle. He kind of looks high. I don't know. It just felt like it fit.
Like sloths always look high.
I mean, they do. I love sloths. I got one tattooed on me, for heaven's sake. But yeah, it's just a 4.8% IPA, you know, just nothing crazy, nothing good. But I just felt the trippy colors and everything was my vibe. But whoa, was that like a 12-ounce bottle, or did you pull like a bomber over here? What you got?
No, it's a 12-ounce bottle.
I guess the way you like pulled in front of the camera, it made it look bigger. So if the camera makes it look bigger sometimes. Noted.
It's because of my tiny Burger King hands. No, it's normal.
My Whopper Junior hands.
My Whopper Junior hands. So this is from Boulevard Brewing in Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh, I've been there.
Plaid Habit. And this is a Canadian whiskey barrel-aged imperial brown ale.
I did not have that when I was there.
It's 11.9%.
Oh, yeah. Lauren's going to be talking about her fanfic of Dean Winchester here by the time we get to episode 8. Stay tuned.
Dean Winchester falls in love with a podcast host. No.
Instead of screaming Sammy, he goes, Lauren.
Happy. So this beer was given to me by a random stranger at a brewery one night. We were at Tactical.
Yeah. We just love accepting random beers.
I mean, it was sealed. But yeah, so that's where I got this. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, I'm 100% drinking this when we record a Supernatural episode. And so
we're both in flannel.
We're both in flannel. And this is, we're going to be talking about one of the episodes where Sam goes, Crowley, can we get you without the drama? And he's like, can I get you without the plaid? No, but I endure. So perfect time to bust out the flannel habit.
And there ain't nothing wrong with,
as always, in my family business beer glass.
That's good. I'm saving my soup juice still. I'm not afraid to drink it. It's just one of those, I have a problem when it's something I know I can't get all the time, that I'm saving it for not season 12. Well, I'm not saving it for season 12. That's for sure.
You should. I was thinking about it today. I was like, I wish I had another one because Gen V comes back in September.
That is a good point. All right. Well, there we go. So yeah, let's go into episode 1 of season 12. Keep calm and carry on. No, this is not chive. It is Mary being back. Woohoo! Thank God. We just love Mary.
No, thank God, sister.
Thanks to Amara, actually. Dean catches Mary up about John and all the times since she had died that they had met, and as well as how she is back. We see Cass land after getting blasted away by the British Men of Letters lady, and he takes some stranger's truck after putting them to sleep, drives back to the bunker, and we see the British lady getting Sam patched up so she can torture him and find out about them. He learns that she's a British Man of Letter, and they've been watching the Winchesters since the very first apocalypse attempt, and now they just want some things to change. They want to make the Men of Letters great again, and how they can help despite having chains on him. So, of course, he doesn't cooperate. Meanwhile, Crowley is following burned out vessels, trying to track Lucifer down. Yep. Dean and Mary arrive at the bunker, find blood. Dean sees the blast away angel sigil and gives Mary a gun. Mary's got a gun. She sees somebody enter, and it's Castiel. She points the gun at him, and despite being an angel, Dean freaks out, stops her. Relieved to see Dean alive, they hug in a bro way. Tell Mary that I know it's not a bro way. That's why I said it. It was
okay.
Obvious. Tell Mary he's an angel and says a human took Sam. Imagine being Mary Winchester. She's just like, what? Although she should be used to this, considering she was a hunter. Anyways, as they get close, a woman of letters hits their car. attacks with some angel weapons. She gets Cass and Dean on the ground, and then they pass out. And Mary wakes up, stabs her with the angel blade. Scene.
End scene.
Scene.
Yeah. I love the reunion with Cass and Dean though for a few reasons, because you gotta like remember, like last season Cass was possessed the whole
Cass,
time.
yeah, he was straight possessed. So it is really nice to see them back again and get the team back again.
Right.
And like initially, so my initial thoughts, because I had no, at this point in time as I was watching, so I've only ever seen these once, right? My initial thoughts when seeing Mary Winchester was back, I was like, oh, cool, their mom's back, sick. Obviously, my feelings have changed as we got
Right.
very
We don't
acquainted
hate
with
her yet.
But I was very confused because you guys were all talking about your hatred for Mary Winchester. And so to me, I was like,
And we love Rowena.
I'm confused. Whereas before you guys loved Rowena, hated Mary Winchester. My feelings were opposite. Could not stand Rowena. Mary Winchester, she's back. I'm like, dude, what's wrong with this? Boy, how the turntables. Because yes, God, I just hate that British lady so much. I
Oh
really
yeah,
do.
Lady Bevel. Yeah.
She's the
And they
friggin'
try to
worst.
make us feel bad for her later, and it's like I never feel bad for her. She is a terrible person. But with Mary, we don't hate her yet at this point. I feel like it was when she started sleeping with Ketch that I started to dislike her.
That's a very good point. Yeah. Well, she does just like makes, I think for me, she becomes very whiny and very hypocritical as well, I thought,
Mm-hmm.
and makes just really poor decisions that kind of go against being a hunter. And then she just mopes around and does a lot of things that I feel really inhibit
Selfish.
Sam and Dean. And she makes a lot of selfish decisions, excuse me, which ultimately end up getting them almost killed or whatnot. Whereas if they didn't have Mary, things would have been a lot better. But
Right.
that's neat. Well,
Well, and her
fine.
sons are two of the most selfless people ever. And
Yes.
they've dedicated their lives to helping others. And then, she shows up, and I get it. Like, I'm sure that would be shocking. I was just in
It's
heaven with
absolutely
my infant and
traumatizing.
my little boy. I get her needing time. But like, I feel the best line, and it's not in the ones we're going to talk about today, but the best line is when she's like, you're not a child anymore. And he goes, I never was. Dean tells her, I never was. I thought that was
Their memory of their mom, or at least Dean's,
right.
is
Sam doesn't
her
have any.
on flames on the ceiling. And then that launched them into this entire life. And I get where she comes from. You're right. And I know we're kind of jumping ahead and not even talking about the episode, but yeah, it's traumatizing, right? You're 1 minute you're dying, the next minute you're in heaven with whatever, and then you're back in this real world with your adult sons. However, as a mom
You
to
are
not even,
hot. That had to be awkward.
yeah, and like as a mom to not even empathize with the fact that your boys were thrust into this life and this is all they have known
I
because
think
of
she
that
feels
moment too.
guilt
Like,
too. And I do think though later on when she tells Bobby like the apocalypse world didn't have Sam and Dean, she's like, well, I took that deal that Mary in this world didn't. So I think she then feels vindicated that she made the right choice. Because you see why she made the choice she made to save John.
right.
You get it. And so you don't hate her for that. It's really until we feel like she's truly
She
abandoning
makes some stupid
the
decisions.
boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my mom tried to defend her one day. And I was like, Mom, if somebody tortured me and then you slept with someone from that organization, I'd be a little upset.
Yeah, yeah, and I hated Catch since day one. All right, we haven't even gotten to let's
All right.
let's get back on track. We're gonna go
All
off the
right.
rails here.
Episode
Why don't
one.
you hit us with some fun facts and what you kind of thought about this?
Okay, so the billboard Castiel crashes into after the British lady blasts him away is an advertisement for a mystery spot. So obviously that is a nod to one of the fan
Oh
favorite
yeah.
episodes, In the Heat of the Moment. I didn't love seeing Sam get tortured, but I loved the line of I've been tortured by the devil myself, or devil himself. Like, what are you going to do to me? That's such a great line because he can say that and mean that, and she knows he means it.
That I was good, like legit. That is a good one because you're torturing. If you have clearly followed them since the apocalypse, so you would know what Sam and Dean went through. You're not gonna break them by doing some like. Come on, they were tortured for thousands of years, according like in hell time. So
Yeah,
be
yeah.
real.
You see the fear on her face that she's not going to be able to crack him, but she still thinks she's like hot shit and can do it. But I did love, and this is one of the things that I was like, Mary needs to tell Dean no. That was her car first. If she wants to
Yes.
drive it, I get that Dean is obsessed with baby, and we all are here for it.
And he's kind of
But
like bending to his mom's will anyway, so he would. He doesn't like bend to her will, but he's glad to have her back. So he kind of,
let her. I get not right away. She's not used to the new traffic and people being on their phones and whatnot. But
yeah, oh yeah, a lot has changed since I do like when they kind of start to settle in and she's learning what the internet
we have
is
to
for a
call the
teenager.
internet.
Yeah, all of that. They
did a good job with that. It was cute. Yeah.
They got
And
me.
when she's like, that's a computer, and Castiel's like, I don't trust them. I thought that was really cute.
Yes.
I think that's another reason I end up not liking her is she never bonds with Cass. She never trusts Cass. And like, bitch, you told your sons growing up that angels were watching them, and now you're not going to trust their
and
angel
now
best
the
friend.
one angel, who has helped them. And if your boys trust Castiel, I honestly feel as though that's good enough at this point to trust him as well.
And she talks shit about Crowley and Rowena. And this season, Crowley really was helpful. And he didn't deserve that in this season.
Actually, Crowley and Rowena at this point are allies. Whether Crowley wants to be or not, he's still that I'm badass, I'm the king of hell kind of character. But we've come a long way from Crowley outright trying to kill the boys, as well as Rowena. Yeah, we've come a long way from that at this point. And so I will absolutely agree with that. Crowley, my favorite character, I love him to death. In real life, my thoughts on Mark Sheppard in real life after.
Oh, he's lovely. He just has a dry sense of humor. So my last comments on this specific episode were, one, I loved seeing Dean's face when he realized his mom has also had sex in the backseat of the car with his dad. So their entire family has had sex in the backseat of that car.
Listen, it stays in the family. I don't know. That's gross.
I mean, yeah, we know Dean was back there with Anna, and I'm sure she wasn't the first. Sam was back there with Piper, the girl from Baby. I only remember the name because I went to Piper
inherited the car from your parents. You probably, who were like young at one point. You were, come on.
Sorry, kids. Your parents have probably had sex in their car on a date night when they couldn't go home because the babysitter was there, so they just did it in the car. It happens.
Listen, kids, your parents probably did a lot more in the backseat of the car that you drive in most days. All right. Yep. Just letting you know that now.
Yeah. And in the bed you want to sleep in every night.
Yeah.
So I loved Cass so much in this because we hadn't gotten true Cass all last season. We got the very dry, like when he's like, yeah, an angel, capital A, halo, harp, and he's like, I don't have a harp. I loved that line.
He's so literal. He's like Drax in that sense,
Yeah.
Where he doesn't understand humor. He's innocent. Yeah, you're 100% right. And you do remember how you feel bad for Castiel. Again, he lays it all on the line for the
both
Winchesters.
of them. Like, he's adamant, like he's going to do whatever he can to get Sam back, to where Dean has to
that's
pull
what
him
makes
back.
me even more mad. Go ahead,
because Mary was like, this is an angel. Like,
she wants to like not trust, she doesn't want to trust Cass, but he even accepted Lucifer into his body. So that way, he had a reason for that too. So the things that Cass sacrifices in order to help the Winchesters or achieve their goal and really do, come on, man. All right. Mamma Mia. Here we go again, Mama. We kick off with Sam and the British lady in bed. What? Just kidding. It was a fake out. Haha. Just another form of torture.
Womp womp.
Cut to Dean.
Blue balls.
He's still trying to find Sammy while talking to Cass about how to deal with the weirdness of his mom being back. Cass then calls back. He's found where Sam's probably being held. Rowena's out there in the dating scene. All right, man. She's out here. She's trying to date people. I respect it. That's when Crowley asks for help with Lucifer, who's trying to possess rock legend Ladyheart. Nah, he does it. All right. Lucifer's out there. He possesses him. And as he approaches Crowley, Rowena starts to do some witchery.
That's what he does.
And
he uses lost loves.
Suddenly, they have power over Lucifer with a paralyzing spell. They douse his vessel with acid, but he heals because he's Lucifer, man. Crowley vanishes, grabs Rowena. Yeah, it really is. Dean goes into the house that Sammy is in, gets locked up himself. Not a very good. Come on, man. You had to have a better plan. British lady mentions Benny. You have no right to do that, first of all, as they have a zero tolerance policy with monsters. Mary comes in to save them. She also gets captured. Oh my God, she was even worse at this than Dean, too.
Like that episode of
Now,
Seinfeld where all the dads keep trying to pick up the TV and they break their back. That
uh,
TV, I'll pick it up. Okay.
now enter Mick to stop the bullcrap with Cass by his side. He explains that Lady Bevel went too far. They have concerns about how American hunters are dealing with monsters. All right, they do, but they give Cass his number about joining him. Lucifer is back on Crowley's throne with Rowena unwillingly at his side. We then wrap this episode up with the boys and Mary processing that Mary is back and Lady Bevel telling Mick that the American hunters need to be eliminated. Mick says that if it gets bad, we have Mr. Ketch for that. I guess my whole problem is the fact that they have been following the Winchesters since, basically season 1, and they haven't seen for themselves. First of all, when have they stepped in to help at any point? Number one.
Well, and
Number
Dean even
two,
says that. Like, you knew this was happening, you couldn't help.
right. There's some moments they really could have helped. Number two, you would think if you're following and doing surveillance and things, you would kind of see that not all monsters are bad because they've gone through a lot at this point. And Dean is somebody who has killed children and killed an innocent woman, for example, who was a monster.
Which children
But
did he kill?
he didn't. I thought he killed that one boy, but maybe he didn't. He killed the mom. I remember that. I thought it was like he closed the door.
Yeah, he didn't kill the kid. He has
That's right.
killed
He didn't kill the kid.
kid monsters. Didn't they kill the Jefferson Starship kids?
I think so, but nonetheless, I mean, Dean was very anti monster until Benny, and then Benny was proof, and Garth also, if they've been following along, Garth the werewolf is proof that monsters can be allies. And so it's just kind of interesting that they're so black or white in this world. And after everything that they've gone through at this point, 12 years, come on, man. She just sucks.
I think they just view it as a slippery slope. They're very efficient. They haven't had a monster death, she said, and I don't remember how many years, whereas obviously the States has. So
because
I think
nobody goes
I'm
to
not
Britain,
defending her at all. I agree way more so with the gray area. And I hated when he killed Amy Pond, and I loved his relationship with Benny. And I'm so upset that they did not that would have been really cool to have a vampire hunter. I think that would have been really cool. I mean,
it would have been great addition to, Garth has some really badass scenes. And I think having Benny be an addition to the team too. I honestly, that would have added more to the show if you do have some of these monsters join their side to help take down like the bad monsters and things like that. It would have probably added a lot of depth and things. You're right.
Well, and I mean, to fast forward to season 15, where we see parallel universes, there is a universe where Benny stuck by Dean's side and they were fighting together. They were fighting Lucifer together when he was possessing Sammy. And it's like, I would love to see, I don't know, maybe a spin-off of that, another parallel universe. Like I loved them together, and they were fantastic together. And I love that actor. And yeah, that was
incredible.
a shame.
Him and Charlie are the two deaths that really didn't sit well with me in the whole series. Obviously, Charlie's because the way she went out. But
I agree, but I feel like they used Charlie a lot. We got a lot of fun stories with Charlie, whereas I feel like we didn't
she
get
comes back. Yeah,
as many
Benny,
as
we
we
didn't
could
get
have
enough.
with Benny. Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah. But I mean, no, I didn't like Charlie's death either. But I mean,
Anyways.
I get Lady Bevel's point. Plus, they're brainwashed. They're grown. They're raised being just taught black and white, black and white, black and white.
You're very, very good point. Very good point. But
we still hate sucks. Them. We like Mick.
We still hate you. We do. We do like Mick. Unfortunately, Mick isn't always going to be around. But what's some fun facts?
So in the real band Motley Crue, Vince is the lead singer of Motley Crue and Tommy is the drummer. In Lady Heart, Vince Vincente is the lead singer and Tommy is on the drums. Vince is, of course, played by Rick Springfield, who you may know.
Yeah.
I wish I had Jesse's girl. I dated a guy in high school for like 2 seconds. I wouldn't even call it dating. That was named Jesse, and my mom must have sang that song the entire 24 hours we were together. I have seen him at Epcot, so if you ever want to see him, he does come to Epcot for usually Flower and Garden. Crowley is reading a comic book in this when Vince Vincente / Lucifer enters the throne room of hell, and that comic book is Superman number 206 from May 1968 with the tagline, "The day Superman became an assassin."
That's a good deep cut, man. That is
I
a
went
good
back and
Crowley Likes
watched. I didn't see
Comics.
the actual cover, but you can see he is reading a comic book.
That's rad. I dig it. I dig it.
That's all
Can
I got.
you dig it? Yeah, I just think it's funny how bumblingly bad. Dean comes in, he kind of holds his own for a second, gets captured. Mary was just awful. Oh my god,
She's out of
she's like
practice.
okay, but it's like she's never held a gun a day in her life as somebody who was a hunter. You know what I mean? Woof, woof.
She's probably also not
Bad.
used to going up against humans. Because I don't know how many humans they were fighting against back in the 70s.
Humans are easier than monsters, I think, but maybe
No,
not
but
all. Dean
that's
doesn't
all.
like.
Dean's
Yeah,
always said humans he doesn't get,
I
monsters he
know.
gets.
Monsters are black and white for the most part.
Plus, she
Humans
had
are
just
stupid.
killed that other lady from the Men of Letters, and she was not she stabbed her with the angel blade. And when Dean's like, "Are you okay?" She did not seem okay. So that might have been the first human she killed. Maybe.
It's possible. I'm not saying you're wrong.
I wonder. I'm
Okay,
sure there's
time
somewhere I
out.
could Google it. I wonder how many actual humans they have taken out. What's going on? There's no sports on right now. What's happening?
My friend I work with, his sister works for Marvel. He just sent me a picture being like, yeah, she's better than us. It's her holding her employee screening ticket for Fantastic Four.
Oh. I thought maybe she was at San Diego.
I'm listening.
Wait, she went to this screening event with Pedro Pascal?
No, she's works for Marvel in New York City.
Gotcha.
She does something marketing with them. So she gets to go to all of the red carpets and she gets to bring friends. And I'm like, dude, hey man, I will bring her every cup of coffee if she ever needs a +1
coffee. Do you have a squirrel moment there?
I did. I'm sorry. I saw a message from him because he's at work. So at this time I thought something happened at work and I opened it up and it was, nope, just his sister at a Fantastic Four employee screening.
Yeah.
It's going to be, it should be me.
I don't get to see it tomorrow because it's Brielle's birthday and that's not what she wants to do. I don't get to see it tomorrow
either because we have to wait for my brother and sister-in-law to come to town, and my brother-in-law owns a comic shop, and Carrie works Thursday, and I was like, fine, we'll all go together.
I hate not going immediately. Superman was so nice getting to see it so early.
Seeing it before everybody else
yes, and no spoilers. Anyways, that Ironheart spoiled for me. Okay, The Foundry, number 3.
Yeah, take us to the Foundry.
Episode 3 of The Foundry. We start with a couple raiding a restaurant and they suddenly hear a baby inside an abandoned house crying. So they call 911 and the girl runs into the house and they just find a creepy ass doll in there. Then, of course, they scream. They're dead, or she's dead. As the boys are trying to look up British Men of Letters, Cass gets a lead on Lucifer and takes off. He tells the boys they're needed here and he'll call them if needed. Then they have a little conversation like, why does he think we're needed here? It's because of Mom. He understands they need to be there for Mom. So he tells, he then runs into Crowley while pretending to be Agent Beyonce, to which Crowley goes, I guess that makes me Agent Z. Cass reluctantly teams up with Crowley. Mary finds the case. So they go on a hunt. Obviously, she found the case that we kick off at the beginning of the episode, and they're at the abandoned house, and a ghost child grabs Mary. The boys get rid of the ghost, and then they go back to the motel for some research, where Mary says the ghost kid was scared. It did not seem like it wanted to hurt her. And then she has visions of baby Sammy mixed with the ghost kid and almost kind of passes out. So the boys say, you need to stay here. We're going to go back. She goes old school and calls one of the moms who lost their kid. And it just happens to be the ghost child's mom. And the kid's name is Lucas. The boys are burning a corpse thinking they're good. And then back to the motel. They go and Mary's gone. As she went back to the abandoned house, Lucas leads her to the guy who actually killed them, who then possesses Mary. The ghost kid, fortunately, the boys show up right as this is happening. The ghost kid then leads Sam to the bad guy's corpse that was in the wall. And then all the kids' spirits go to heaven after they salt and burn the guy's corpse in the wall. It turns out Mary had actually found out the backstory. The dead guy had lost his daughter and then walled himself in there and starved to death. As new kids moved in, he got jealous and he took them. And they stayed there. Meanwhile, Rowena was supposed to be helping Lucifer's new vessel, but instead she made it decay quicker and sent him to the bottom of the ocean. Right after Cass and Crowley show up, Rowena tells them if they need her to fight Lucifer, they can call her. And I love it too because she's sitting in the back with like a cocktail. She's like, you just missed him. And then back in the bunker, Mary says she needs time and she dips out.
This is where, Rowena really got me. At this point, Rowena, number one fan. I'm just telling you, she's snarky. I love it. She does not come to play. She's dressed fabulously. And at this point, she's just awesome. Okay. That's my thoughts. I love her. Meanwhile, at this opposite end, this is where Mary starts to really irritate me because she starts to just do things that make no sense. And she gets kind of like full of herself and she almost wants to prove herself. I feel like at this point after
Which makes
she
sense because
failed.
she's
Yeah.
at these old schools. She's like, oh, let's go knock on doors. And they're like, yeah, we don't do that. And then it was
Knock
kind of
on
nice to see her.
doors.
Like, they're like, well, yeah, we do that sometimes. I feel like you would see that
Yeah.
more earlier seasons.
Oh yeah, for sure. But now you don't have to do that because the internet and phones and what have you. But
Right.
this is a very tragic episode because while it is steeped in a guy's ghost doing bad things, the whole reason is tragic. Like he lost somebody, so he basically killed
Right,
himself.
lost
Although
job, yeah.
I wouldn't. If something happened to my kids, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to put myself in a wall and starve myself. I'm going to do it by
Go
quicker
out quick.
methods.
Yeah.
That's just look, man. That is agonizing. So it's very tragic that he never would have intentionally, but spirits take on a whole different form and all of that kind of stuff. So there was vengefulness, there was jealousy within his spirit. And so it really was a tragic episode that he would kidnap kids because, that's how it went out, unfortunately. So
But I think it was nice seeing her as like, she was a mom of little kids. She's not a mom of grown ass men. That's not how she feels. She is now, but that's not how she feels. Like last she knew she was a mother of little kids. And I think that being a little boy was very important because, she's used to being a mother to little boys and she never got to see them grow. So I think that made it like, she was like, I need to rescue this kid. This kid was afraid. And she never got to rescue her kids when they were afraid. So I feel like that was what they were going for.
Well, she had a connection. I agree.
Well, and I think her seeing that is like, I need to leave a little and figure things out on my own. And I get that. It was just the fact that like, I mean,
she just doesn't think, I guess. For somebody, my biggest issue, I suppose, with the way she operates is for somebody who was a hunter who grew up in this life, she doesn't think. And I guess that's just my biggest problem.
She was never a full-on hunter, though.
That's okay. You're right. I forget about this. I do.
She was forced to hunt and then she got pregnant and then she would take cases here and there as we learn in the life of Asa Fox, which I think we're about to get to.
Yeah. Okay. I can give you that. Now, a quick fun fact about this episode is that Mary introduces herself as Shirley Partridge, with Sam and Dean as David Cassidy and Danny Bonaducci, all members of the 70s musical sitcom, The Partridge Family.
Appropriate because she grew up in the 70s.
Yes. Now we move to American Nightmare. Great song by a band, Ice Nine Kills. I enjoy it. We kick off with some lady whacking herself in the back as she walks through a church crying, bleeding, speaking different languages, and then she dies. Enter priest Sam and Dean to talk to the priest who saw it and knew her. No sulfur, no demon. Dean talks to Cass and learns that Crowley and him are teaming up. Oh yeah, I would have taken an entire spinoff series of just those two doing things.
Seriously.
They learn that Lucifer is in Vince Vicente, lead singer of it's Vicente, sorry. They head to the victim's office. Suddenly, another victim drops in the same way, but while at his grocery store job. The first victim's coworker then tells the boys about a case she was working on. She was a social worker. The family is very religious. Their oldest supposedly died because the family wouldn't treat her because it was God's will. Ugh. Turns out she hadn't passed, but the family kept her locked up because she was evil. And they are protecting others. Just freaking religion, man. Now, psychic, telekinetic, she was trying to reach out for help, accidentally killed them. The mom decides she's going to poison them all. Dad drops first. He drank the Kool-Aid. Goodbye, Dad. Peace out. The daughter stops the brother and son from eating it. Then mom, however, accidentally stabs him, aiming for the daughter. The boys manage to free her, tell her it was not her fault. Mom goes to jail. The daughter gets sent to live with another relative. However, bing, bing, bing. Enter.
Man, this is like a child. This is a teenager.
Yes, enter Ketch, the British man of letters, who was watching. He goes and
Somebody
kills the daughter.
watching.
I
On her way to
hate
go live with her aunt.
son of a bitch. The dude. Oh, okay. So she did not know what she was trying to reach out because she was being abused. And this a-hole who I don't even feel like he's brainwashed. I feel like he's just a psychopath.
I think he's a psychopath, yes.
He's truly a psychopath.
Yes.
Legit.
I think it goes to like nature versus nurture. Like I think some of this is nurture, but I feel like when nature and nurture mesh, I feel like that's what catches. I think he had the psychopathic tendencies there, and the nurture of the men of letters just like he was their perfect.
Let him loose. Yeah.
Specimen. Yeah. I don't even think Lady Bevel is on his level. Like I don't think she was.
I don't think
to
so
kill.
either. This guy, she has moments. Lady Bevel has moments.
I feel like they show the scenes with her kid to show she has some sort of empathy.
Right. She has humanity. Ketch has zero. That dude is psycho straight through. As you can see, he kills her.
Get redemption in the last season a little bit. And he hooks up with Rowena.
Not in my book. Not in my book. Okay. He comes. Oh God. Jeez. It's. Oh my God. I'm worried
what
about
Mary saw in him.
Yeah, I don't. But then I'm also worried about spoilers for later seasons. But I feel like if you're listening to this, you probably have seen everything.
Yeah, this is a spoiler-filled podcast.
So the fact that he dies and then he comes back, and then he works for freaking Colonel Sanders or whoever for a little bit.
Asmodeus.
And then I don't know, man. He never
tries
gets redemption
to pull off
me.
the evil twin thing.
He does.
So stupid.
God, it's so
okay, so fun fact. Sam and Dean introduce themselves when they're dressed as priests as fathers Penn and De Niro. This is a reference to the movie
we know them.
We're No Angels from 1989 starring Sean Penn and Robert De Niro.
Those guys, we know them. Familiar.
I do like when the crazy religious lady's like, "Do you boys know God?" And Dean's like, "Yeah, we're besties."
Which isn't it's not wrong.
It's true.
I can't say there's no lie detected. Okay. Yeah. This episode, it's always funny, like Sam and Dean coming in as, like the priest, but this episode is another tragic one. It's a heavy episode, man. It is a very, very heavy
with
episode.
A happy ending.
For who?
For everybody who hates Hitler.
No, I'm not talking about the one you've been waiting for. I was talking
about... I thought we were getting ready for the next one.
Jesus Christ, man. I was still talking about American Nightmare. A happy ending for who? Ketch killed a girl, man.
Sorry. I was on to the next one. I'm like, watching Hitler die is a good thing.
Write this down. All right. This is the one you've been waiting for. Lauren says this is her happy ending, although gonna keep a close eye on here. And there's some old rich white lady. She wants to buy some Nazi stuff. It sounds like Lauren when she was in Georgia and she ended up in that German town.
God, I still cannot believe they were selling Nazi stuff in that thrift store.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
And then
in Georgia. Oh.
Suddenly the guys selling Nazi shit bursts into flames. Rich white lady grabs it. She then combusts. We see a figure in the shadows. The boys follow the case straight into Nazi antique store where a whole room of Nazi stuff is found. The boys start to brainstorm. Remember the Thule? Cut to Ellie, a young woman trying to date who talks way too much. Aww. While in the bathroom, can relate. While in the bathroom, two guys show up and burn about talking too much, not dating. While in the bathroom, two guys show up and burn her date. Jeez, man. She manages to escape.
I know, dating's hard. They just made it harder.
Millennial dating. It's
hard. I don't think I've ever actually dated.
Ghosted. Listen, I don't. Gosh,
my
it's been 11 years since I've been on a date, but
marry someone you went to high school with.
Listen,
I'm so old. I was never even able to go on a dating app.
Oh my God. Well, that's how I met my wife, is on a dating app. And in the initial, when dating apps were seen as taboo, but now everybody does it. So imagine going on a date. You finally get a date who doesn't ghost you and they get turned to ash and fire in the bathroom.
He turns into a ghost.
All right. They then reach out to Adam Rose's character, the blue cardigan guy who dropped out of college to fight the Nazis with his golem. Yeah, buddy. He smoked the golem instruction pages. He
Just
says
remember
something big as
past,
yes.
he was a little okay. And if you don't know who the blue cardigan guy is, he does like TikTok and everything with his blue cardigan, and he's even had like Jensen in
Oh,
some of his
does he?
videos.
I
You don't
haven't
know who
seen
I'm talking
those.
about? Oh,
No,
it's
I haven't seen these
amazing.
videos. What?
Yeah, and then he had like Jensen in the cardigan at one point.
What? This
Okay,
is so cool.
and then he had one because he'll sometimes go to the supernatural conventions. He walks in and he's like, "Who ate my donuts?" And then Jensen's covered in white powder all over his face. He's like, "Guys, who ate his donuts?" You
Uh,
haven't seen any of these videos?
no, this is
Yeah,
all
he's
new to
known
me.
for doing these videos with a blue cardigan on.
Okay,
Okay,
that
his
blew
real
my
name's
mind.
Adam Rose. I don't remember what his fake name was.
All right. Now, this is he says something big is happening, and a mission that translates to the blood is in progress. The two guys who burned the date manage to capture Ellie, the young girl. The boys then save her and capture the younger Nazi, and they want their Nazi scalps. They tell her about the Nazi necromancers, interrogate the young Nazi. They call Dr. Indiana Jones. They learn Hitler's soul is trapped in the Nazi. They didn't actually, but they learn that Hitler's soul is trapped in the Nazi pocket watch that the old lady was trying to buy. Turns out Ellie's a descendant of Hitler and they need her blood to resurrect Hitler. Oh my Lord. It works. They bring Hitler back. Oh, fortunately the boys save Ellie and then Dean kills Hitler. Bah, 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 bah.
What is
In
it?
the
River
second
Song couldn't do it.
the second most satisfying Hitler death on screen. The
Nick
first one
Fury
being
couldn't do it.
Inglorious Bastards, where
How many
they
people
freaking
tried to go back in time and kill Hitler?
okay.
They had to wait
So
for Hitler to come to them. Dean
now, what's
Winchesters
funny?
did
It's not
it.
funny, but I always so this isn't funny, and maybe I'm just getting on a tangent here. However, everybody would go back in time and kill baby Hitler. They say me, I'm like, I would go back
Thanos
in time to the early 2000s so I can
War
just watch
Machine would
My
go back.
Chemical Romance for $20 on the Taste of Chaos tour because I am so freaking jealous of all the people at My Chemical Romance concerts right now, and the tickets are astronomical. And this has nothing to do with anything, and I'm probably sounding like a shitty person, but I
I like how in any time travel thing, they're like, Hitler was a fixed point in time. You can't do that because it would just change so much. It's like that's how they fix, like, there's certain points in time you just can't change. You can't save JFK. You can't kill Hitler. Like, you can't do these things because it'll
it
mess
is
up our
funny.
whole,
Yeah,
like,
I
movie.
hey, you can't do that because it would mess all of this up. And I think it's just kind of a funny, like tongue in cheek kind of way of not hand waving away because everybody is like, oh, yeah, this, that, or the other, right? You
We're
would
trying to
do
make
this.
time travel seem real.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not against it.
All right, so some fun facts. Dean's line, Nazis, I hate these guys, is actually a nod to Dr. Jones,
Dr.
Indiana Jones, because
Jones, I
he
told
authored this.
ya.
When Dean shoots Hitler, he uses a Walther P99 instead of his usual Colt because Hitler killed himself with a Walther PPK.
That is some good deep cut right there.
That is
Yes.
from IMDb, so I did not double fact check
Well,
that.
Hitler, yes, he killed himself in the bunker, allegedly. And because he thought the war and he's a big pansy piece of crap and screw that guy. Yes.
There were a couple things like this was a fantastic episode, I really thought, because it was just like so clear, like these aren't just like monsters, like these are evil people because they weren't monsters that like drank the blood of a vampire, turned into a werewolf, and like had these urges. Like these were human beings that were just
these
evil.
were all like, first of all, if you know anything about history, like Hitler had his Nazi whatevers out there doing stuff like this. He was trying to search for all this stuff. Like while he was out there committing genocide and all this other bull crap and wars, he was stealing artworks. They were out there searching for all sorts of weird stuff and things like that.
On people.
Yeah, there were all these crazy things. So I do think from a historical aspect, this is something that is the closest to reality for this show in a sense, because these fanatics would absolutely try to do something like that.
It's crazy. But we got some great lines from Dean too. Like this is a quote. Scrooge McDuck lady got her rocks off by collecting Nazi crap. I love that.
She did.
Hitler, once Hitler becomes real, which he's such a goofball too, which was odd.
Yes.
He said, "I sold 10 million copies of Mein Kampf. What do you think I can do with Twitter?" Obviously, that is a nod.
We actually found out what happened when he can do with Twitter.
Yes, that is a nod to "He Who Shall Not Be Named." And then so we kept saying Nazi kid. This kid was like, I think he said he was born in 94. This was the son of one of the original Nazis. and he compares the pocket watch to a Horcrux. And I love this
Oh,
scene
yeah.
because Sam understood the reference and he had to explain it to Dean. And Dean goes, "Of course you would know what that is."
Sammy.
I just, as a muggle, it just makes me love Dean even
You're
more.
right. You're right. Because that would be me explaining to you what exactly all this is. Because
But in season 15, there is a scene. I need to make a cut of this from the Dumbledore to this scene to there's a scene in season 15 where they kill an owl for something, or Rowena needs like a dead owl skull,
yeah.
and Dean says, "Rest in peace, Hedwig." I was like, "Oh,
Yes,
okay."
yes. He gets. He finally watched the
Well,
movies,
I mean,
man.
I watched all of them. I read the first book. It just wasn't my cup of tea. I tried my best.
That's fair. It's a shame that, speaking of Nazis, that person who wrote them is such a piece of crap. All right. But let's go
There
into
you go.
celebration of life for Asa Fox. We see a kid who is about 12 getting attacked by a werewolf. Mary Winchester does something good for once. She saves the day. But, however, sorry, this is actually the early 80s. The kid then grows up to be a hunter named Asa Fox. He dies by being hung on a tree during an alleged hunt. That is dark. Cut to the boys swinging by Jody's unexpectedly to see her and a girl. So you know this is going to end up with Jody with a broken limb of sorts. The girls are out of town.
This one, okay.
Dean tells her he killed Hitler, which I'd be bragging about too. The boys learn that Jody is rom-com chick and Dean is a Japanese animatic erotica kind of chick. Then she gets a phone call that Asa Fox is dead. He was a friend with some benefits when she met him when he showed up at the station pretending to be FBI. So they did a hunt together, stayed in touch. The boys knew of him as Ellen would tell stories about him. So they go with her to the wake. It's full of hunters who all know the Winchesters. A hunter goes to grab another beer, gets grabbed. Mary comes swooping in, who has barely been responding to texts. We learn she's kept hunting after she had kids. Dean steps outside to get some air. The hunter that was grabbed is now dead. Suddenly, the smell of sulfur is in the air, folks.
Ugh.
A demon is inside, and he's known to hang people, and they think it killed Asa. The demon won't let them leave, and then while outside, Dean sees Billy, who just reaped the hunter. Dean can't get back in, so he asks Billy for help. Billy, at this point, is so done with the Winchesters crap, just about. However, she actually does help. But now, he owes her a favor. Meanwhile, everybody inside tries to figure out who it is that is possessed. The demon goes from person to person, ends up inside of Jody. So she didn't end up quite okay in the end, okay? She still got affected.
She didn't break anything this time. She didn't leave cast or crutches.
The hunters begin to exercise her, take over after each person is knocked over, but not before we learn that Aza's death wasn't what they thought. It was a complete accident, but his death was caused by another hunter. He panicked, made it look like the demon killed him, so he hung him up on a tree. Aza's mom learned that she has grandkids, 2 witches. She's happy about that. Jody tells Mary her boys are good men. Then Billy shows up, wants her favor. She wants Mary. However, Mary tells her that she's going to have to wait. Take her! Sorry. That's just me speaking.
So fun facts, despite filming in Canada, this is the first time they go to Canada and meet Canadian hunters, which is interesting because they're wanted criminals and they're legally dead, and you don't need passports to go back and forth from Canada.
I was curious about this. How exactly did they go between the border? Did they?
I mean, Chuck was still on their side at this point, so I'll give them that they're fake passports, because at one point they did fly to Scotland to burn Crowley's bones. However, in season 15, when they drive to Alaska, they had to go through Canada, and God was not on their side at that point. But
that's yes,
whatever.
Yes,
I feel like that is the one plot hole that you cannot fix whatsoever in Supernatural, because you can fix every other plot hole by saying Chuck was on your side. You can't fix that one.
That's a good point, actually. You're right, because at this point, you can hand wave Chuck, but in season 15, he was no longer. They were fighting him, and you have to go through British Columbia, and then you're driving freaking forever in the middle of nowhere to the point where you have to carry extra gas cans just in case.
Oh shit!
And you're not entering America or Canada in 2020 with fake stuff, unless. Yeah, even with fake stuff, they probably got all this.
2016, yeah.
Well,
yeah, it was 2016 because this was I remember seeing an advertisement for this season, and I was still watching on Netflix, and I was like,
no. I was talking about in season 15. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, that was 2020. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I was confused. Sorry. Yeah, that's what I'm
Um,
talking about. Like 2016, maybe 2020 though. By this point, I mean
oh
technology.
God.
Yes.
Well, I was thinking COVID. But COVID didn't happen in the show,
The
so
Canadian Mounties were too afraid of COVID that they just let them through, and then the Americans were nowhere to be seen because
why
Trump had defunded the border patrol.
one thing I thought was interesting in this. So this aired in 2016. Construction
Okay.
on Jensen's brewery started in 2017, and in
Ooh.
this, the guy makes his own beer, and
Uh-huh.
Jensen's like, "Oh, a home brew." And so I wonder if Jensen was already brewing at that point. I assumed he was, but he kind of makes fun of the beer, but then he really likes it.
I wish
So
he would come on our show, man. I do. Like, have a damn
your lips
beer.
to Chuck's ears or Jack's ears.
Yeah. It was. I mean, I don't really have a whole lot to say about this episode, right? It's always good to see Jody, and it's always
I
good to
like,
see
yeah.
Jody not getting absolutely mauled.
I like the Sam calling Dean out for his anime cartoon porn stuff. I thought that was really funny. And then he's like, "Dude, don't tell Jody that." He goes, "Be proud of your hobbies." I thought it was really
It's
funny.
it's
That's been a
hilarious too. Yeah.
continuing joke.
Because
Um,
Dean is so like, you're a nerd, anti-nerd, but he's over here watching anime porn. Oh my god.
I also like Jody's reaction to Mary. I thought that, and how Jody, was there for Dean, and then what she
Mhm.
said to Mary. So I really liked Jody in this episode. I'm glad they brought her in. But I always feel bad because like they don't catch Jody up ever. She always has to find out things like, what? You're not possessed by Michael anymore? What? Your mom's back? Like what? Like they don't call her to catch her up. They just, I
And
don't know.
she's been there, but she's ride or die. She's essentially at this
Yeah.
point replaced Bobby at the, as
Yeah.
she's kind of become like a mother figure in that regard, I
Oh
would
yeah.
say.
Bobby's a father figure and
And
Jody's a mother figure. Yeah.
yeah, catch her up at all. That sucks.
Yep. I think I'm
You're
freezing.
good.
Okay.
My internet. I bought an extender, so I don't know why my internet's showing like a low thing, but I just bought an extender, so I don't know what the hell's going on. Anyways, take us to the rock, never dies.
So some jackass teens summon Lucifer from the ocean into their basement. He's all better for
Wigan
now.
teenagers.
Before Lucifer kills both teens, he learns he's, quote, kind of famous. So he decides to get the band back together. So Crowley, Cass, Sam, and Dean head to LA to Death Siren Records, who just signed Ladyheart. A guy there has been helping Crowley collect souls, as the band has a recording studio, but Vince continues to refuse to actually record. Crowley confirms Lucifer is, in fact, Vince Vincente. Crowley has a lot of connections in LA. It may be the city of angels, but it's really the city of people who have sold their souls. They
And the
head to
city
Vince's
of
room,
angels.
and the room is full of rock star biographies, which is really funny. And Cass finds the menu thinking it's a spell. Lucifer has got a groupie who is willing to pull a tooth, cut herself, and do anything for Vince Vincente, and Lucifer is loving it. She ends up in the hospital. Turns out she actually carved his name into her chest and lost a lot of blood. Despite her injuries, she wants to go to his show. The location, though, is undisclosed, and a lottery will happen for who actually gets to show up. Lucifer says, "I want new fans, not diehard fans." That's what he tells his PR lady. Crowley explains Lucifer just wants devotion because the boys don't get it. Cass doesn't get it. So Crowley has to like break it down for him. Like, this is why he's doing what he's doing. You guys don't understand because you're not, king of hell or whatever.
Right.
Okay, so Sam and Dean meet with Vince's PR person and try to find out where the show is. Meanwhile, Crowley tries to get it out of the Death Sirens guy, and Cass tries to get it out of Vince's band partner. They all fall short. Crowley's guy tells Vince he owns him. So naturally, Lucifer makes him stab himself with a pen. So that was a
Gnarly.
gross scene. Right in the neck. Then jumps
Yes.
right out of the limo to his adoring fans. While noticing his vessel is falling apart again, though. The PR lady immediately quits after that, and his band member texts Cass the location of the concert. He's like, okay, like, I may have 2 daughters in college and I need this tour to pay for that, but
This is
Vince,
weird.
Vince just like psychically killed somebody. Or telekinetically. So the 4 of them then go inside to stop Lucifer, Cass, and Crowley. Crowley steps up too, go to fight Vince backstage while Sam and Dean try to get everybody to leave the vicinity. Sam even pulls the fire alarm, but it doesn't do anything as Lucifer takes the stage. Dean desperately then fires his gun into the sky and the crowd scatters. Sam holds the doors open as hard as he can while Lucifer's trying to slam them shut to let everybody out. It is finally just them. As the boys ask why he's doing this, um, after him and Chuck made up, Lucifer then explains, yeah, we made up. And then everyone abandoned me right after they were done needing my help. So he's going to keep smashing Dad's broken toys. During his sad speech, his vessel is deteriorating because it took so much energy to kick all of their asses, and Lucifer leaves his vessel. Sam then says, as the four of them are regrouping, he says, we're not winning, we're just losing slow. Dean is adamant, though, that the four of them will stop him.
You know, I feel for Lucifer in this regard because, I mean, he's got dad issues, and so he's valid in his, hey, I finally get used, we make up, however it was kind of on false pretenses and nobody actually really wanted me around, so he's not completely unvalid in his feelings. I get it.
Yeah, I think that's always been what's interesting about Lucifer is like we get where he's coming from, but then he goes too far.
Yeah, like obviously there's a line, and Lucifer
Crosses
clearly crosses the line. I don't know what it is about, being stabbed in the neck, but that's one of those deaths that always kind of makes me go, ugh.
I feel like because it's a lot of blood.
Yeah, like because there's a lot of arteries and there's things in your neck. So for me, it's one of those just gross things, and I don't know. It's just
that's fair. Yeah,
the thought of suffocating, I think, is probably what bothers me the most. That might be what it is, but
you're like choking on your own blood.
Yeah, right. Now, at around 9 minutes, 40 seconds, Dean reminisces about going to LA, hunting a vengeful spirit about 10 years ago. That was season 2's Hollywood Babylon.
Great episode.
Not Kevin Smith's Hollywood Babylon, but yes, completely different. Kevin Smith had a podcast called that. Now, Crowley made a comment about a prestige to having a Swift or a Drake.
I just love that Taylor Swift got a nod. So did Taylor Swift sell her soul?
Yes, probably. You see the crap that's going on right now? I mean, I listen to Taylor Swift, so I'm just saying in general, like, I'm part of the problem. But that girl ain't got no rhythm dancing wise, all that.
You're the problem. She definitely doesn't even sing anymore.
I thought she does still. No, she still, I think.
I mean, like, I
feel like modern music in general, there's a lot of backtracking going on, and so hardly anybody freaking sings anymore.
Yeah, I don't listen to new Taylor Swift, but the songs that I've heard, it just seems like she's just talking.
That's like, I thought you meant like concert wise, because it definitely seems like she still sings.
No. And even if you're mouthing things at concerts, like
she still sings on her CDs,
but dude, she's dancing. You can't dance it like.
Well, that's what I mean.
Have
like,
an
all
issue
these
with
modern
that at
music is
they
are so reliant on backtracking vocals, especially while they're doing all sorts of things on stage.
Yeah, if you're you can't breathe. No, I get.
And you're paying thousands of dollars. Like, I get it. Dancing is hard. I can't dance. I cannot dance.
Everybody can dance. You can dance.
You can dance. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was in my head. I was thinking that too. Yes. But if I'm paying thousands of dollars, man, I care more about, like, I
have nothing against Taylor Swift at all. I
listen to her music. I was listening to
it
last night.
I haven't jumped on the new stuff though, because I feel like it just hasn't connected with me, because I don't feel like she's even singing.
I mean, absolutely fair. I don't just. That's fair.
Do love her old school shit. All right. I do love in this episode where Dean's making fun of Cass. He's like, you look like he's like, what are you? And he's like, oh, I could be an agent or whatever. And he's like, maybe a third tier agent. And Cass, without skipping a beat, goes, at least I don't look like a lumberjack. And Dean was so shocked that Cass had like an appropriate comeback that he like didn't even say anything and he just like ate his words. And I thought that was adorable.
It's one of the few times that Cass does
stand up for himself. Yes, absolutely. Man. Yeah.
I loved it too. It was rad. Let's go into the final episode that we're going to do today. Lotus, not the White Lotus, but just Lotus. We see Lucifer has possessed a holy man. To the morgue the boys go to see the remains of one of his last vessels, a CEO who was last seen with the holy man. All CEOs are evil, and Cass and Crowley are already there. Off to see the man, the boys go. They find the dying priest and the dead nun. Oh man, and there's a whole lot more. Too late, the vessel has burned out. Back to square one they go. Cut to the president talking to the devil. The president seems like an actual good dude and says yes to Lucifer. All right. They are working together. Lucifer immediately kills one of the Secret Service agents. He then asks to say a prayer for a guy he killed because everybody else thinks it's an accident. His hands start to burn on the Bible. He says, babies, that's what we are. Is that foreshadowing, perhaps?
Who knows? Maybe.
Lucifer then loses his virginity to the president's secret girlfriend. Oh, God. You hate us
Good
love
for
a good love
him.
triangle. The girlfriend mentions maybe one day getting married, having a baby. Lucifer grins sheepishly. Crowley then meets with somebody in the White House. The person who said the Secret Service guy died of natural causes was
Causes.
lying. I said
What?
causes. Gosh, she's Crowley's inside woman. Crowley goes to the bunker. He says, "Yo, I got some dirt. Guess what?" And the president is Lucifer. Surprise.
This is
As a
after he makes fun
precaution,
of the flannel.
Lucifer tells the Secret Service agent that a couple lunatics want to kill him because they think he's literally Satan.
That was great. That was
Literally
so
Satan.
smart. He's like, these specific people think I'm literally Satan. That was fantastic.
Son of a gun.
Very
Here's a
smart.
fun fact. The guy responds saying Lucifer isn't real. He's a comic book villain, which is technically true because there are DC comics about Lucifer, which is what the show is based on. Unfortunately, it was a spinoff of a unfortunate now authors Lucifer and Sandman. Back to the show now. Sam calls Mick for help. He does not answer. Crowley goes to get Rowena, who's fighting with her latest fiance about him cheating. Come on, man. Crowley, boom, explodes him in a fiery burst of boom. Rowena's
boom.
moved. Oh my God, my son does love
That's
me.
the
I'm
sweetest
awful
thing
to
you've
my own
ever done
son.
for me. And I love Crowley's face in that moment. He's like, good for me.
Hey, Lucifer's getting laid again. Good for him, I guess. He's clearly knocked up Kelly by now. Genuinely seems happy. He's living his best life. Castiel gets an angel radio headache because a Nephilim has come into existence, which is a half human, half child.
Half human, half child, half angel, half human
Oh,
child.
you're right. I'm sorry. Half human, half
That
yes.
sounds
Yes.
like a baby.
That would be a baby, all right. Yes. As the boys in Castiel go meet up with Crowley, take down Lucifer, they got pulled over by Secret Service, and a fight ensues. Castiel finally gets out of the car to stop everything. Then the men of letters show up. Boo! Enter Ketch. He fires a grenade launcher. Everybody runs except for Castiel. He tells Cass to wipe
Just
their
stands
memories.
there all innocent.
He says he came
Halo,
because Sam
wipe their
called Mick.
memories.
Ketch tries to get them to team up, shows them an object that drives a demon from a vessel. They ask about angels. Ketch lets them borrow it. Crowley then gets a girlfriend, and they clue her in as to what is happening.
He gets the girlfriend, not a girlfriend.
Oh, sorry, the girlfriend. Castiel hands Kelly a Bible. Her hand burns. And the Bible catches fire. They have Kelly call the president who meets her at a motel. Very shady. She tells him she cannot have the Bible. He then gets all Lucifer-y, tells her he must. You must! And Sam begins the exorcism into the egg thing from the British Men of Letters. Once it's done, Cass takes Kelly and the boys, get arrested for the attempted murder of the president. Kelly escapes. Cass calls to tell that she cannot get rid of the baby. Jack is coming.
Dun dun dun. Yes, Jack is coming.
Yes.
So the title Lotus is a plan POTUS, which means President of the United States. So this is Lucifer of the United States.
It is.
Cass calls Crowley Agent Zappa in this. Dean asks him to stop. I thought that was so cute at the beginning. He's like, well, Agent Zappa. And Dean goes, just stop. Because they're trying to pick rock aliases because that's what they do.
Yeah.
I thought the shots of the president in this were beautiful because they were shooting him with a fireplace behind him, and I thought that
there was a lot of allegoric,
Yeah.
shots with the hint of Lucifer because we know he's in there. And that's one of the good things about Lucifer too, is there's so many things you could do shot wise, and then just it's kind of funny seeing where we're with politics and the Bible, everything now, but I'm not getting into that. Yeah, Jack's hand never actually burns while holding the Bible.
Yes, Jack actually reads the Bible, and he's like, my dad's in here a lot, not Castiel, Lucifer. And it was like, oh, he can read. I wonder if there was like a transition to where when he was first conceived, it was like the spawn of Satan.
Yeah.
And then Kelly's influence maybe changes it. And that's how he becomes.
Well, that's a good point, actually, because she's obviously she's innocent. She is all about Jack. She's all about her son. She is for good. And so I'm very curious too, if that was kind of the thing as well, because granted, obviously when she touches the Bible, she couldn't touch it at this point in time. And then Jack goes on to become God.
Right. But she doesn't convince Cass until she's showing.
Yeah.
And yeah, a Nephilim pregnancy is, I think what they said 6 or 7 months, but it's still like, this is very early. So, yeah, interesting.
At this point, I'm glad the men of letters weren't a thing, but then Ketch comes in and I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah. It's funny though, also hearing
That's
them
where
be
I was
like,
at.
this baby is an abomination. I'm like, you three are gonna raise this baby. So
I
maybe I'll
know it.
stop.
So it is funny how that comes about because as I'm initially watching the show, I don't know what's going to happen, right? I don't know anything about this baby. I don't know Jack at this point. They're talking about the
Nobody
abomination.
knows Jack at this
I
point.
don't know Jack. But you're right. They end up raising the baby. And then you come around.
Jack
At first, I'm
refers to
just,
all of them as dads. All three
yeah,
of them.
it's 3 men and baby.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's
I
the spinoff we need.
I didn't care. It is funny how it does come full circle, and then Jack ends up becoming God ultimately. And I do think the mom plays a heavy influence in that. And I always forget that she was a part of like the Secret Service or the president's secret girlfriend, I should say, all of that kind of stuff because she's in it very minimally, but at the same time, she probably has one of the biggest impacts on the series after, like
And they
going
keep her
forward.
around a little longer after this too.
They
Like
do.
you're in heaven, we get the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, when we get to all that, we have because I've heard of fun facts too of the video. Have you heard of that when they showed Jack the video of his mom?
No.
When Jared handed him the laptop, it was porn.
That's ridiculous. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's
I think
hilarious.
they pranked what's his name? Alex. They pranked him pretty hard. I've seen we were even at the panel in MegaCon and like I've seen many panels like apparently Jared cut up his real credit card in life one time at a restaurant. He's like,
This
yeah,
is
they
this
prank a lot.
is really why, physical media is so important because I remember you used to get stuff like this on DVD
You
commentaries and
still
behind the
do.
scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why I would love to get these DVDs because I am such a big fan of behind the scenes stuff that hearing things like this. That's why I love doing fun facts on this
But
show is
cons are
because
fun with the
yeah,
panels. Yeah.
in cons and panels. That's what I love most is hearing these stories. I fucking love it, man. I do so much.
I guess they pranked Crowley once and he was like, Mark Shepard was like, no. And he shut
I
that
can
shit down real
I can
quick.
see it. Mark doesn't have fun. Mark isn't a fun man.
Oh,
He's
I think he's fun. I think he's just dry
no,
humor fun. And then I
no.
guess there was stuff with Misha too that they've done all sorts of stuff. But yeah, we'll have to
We'll get to that.
I
I
mean
don't have any other
they do a
thoughts
lot
at
of
this point
cons.
though. So
No, I
they're doing
feel
more cons now, actually, too, because they're all going to be at Fan Expo Boston in August.
oh, are they? Well, and
Not
they do
Jensen, but
supernatural cons all the time.
well, right, yeah, but like they're doing a lot of more normal comic conventions, not just their Creation Con, which I think is pretty cool.
I hope
Uh,
we get some of them at MegaCon again.
oh, please.
Oh,
I
I would love
doubt
a
it because
boys
they
panel.
very rarely do 2 years in a row. But I think since it's the last year of the boys, I really think we need to get some more boys characters at these conventions. I don't know
I
what
agree.
at least get
There's a bunch
Jack
of the boys
or
coming to Spookala, which is a tiny convention,
I
and
saw
a bunch
that.
of I know I maybe I should do it. It's the first weekend in October, but
You
like
should.
maybe yeah, I'm always hesitant because my daughter's birthday's that weekend, but she's turning 22. She probably doesn't want to hang out with her mom,
Oh, yeah.
so I should look into that.
Taylor Swift, 22. You should, but I am surprised that
And
we
I'm
don't
turning
have,
22.
at least go out. If you're pulling the big people in cons, I'm surprised I don't get like Eric Kripke at more conventions, for example, because
Yes,
all the
I
stuff he's
agree.
done.
Even with like the
Um,
supernatural con, like I want to talk to the writers. I want to talk to
like,
the people who created like
yeah,
what inspired you. Like how did this happen? Like I don't just want to
get
talk to
more
the
people
stars.
like Jeremy Adams who have written shows for
Jeremy
super
Adams
stuff
was
or
phenomenal.
yeah, and I think like the writers deserve as much of you should get more of these and
Can we get
um
Jeremy Carver?
yeah, I definitely
Ben
agree. So
Edlund.
because now, Eric Kripke even showed a picture
Ding
of the
doo-dah.
lot that they've been filming on, of, Vought. It's now
Yeah,
empty.
that was sad.
So
Yeah.
anyways, I got no more thoughts on this as we kind of wrap up, and we'll be back. We're getting some supernatural going leading up to the 20th anniversary. If you want, go onto our YouTube playlist. You can listen to all of our recaps there. We've been doing them sporadically. Like I said, you can also check out our conventions where we have hosted supernatural panels. MegaCon in March. We'll hopefully have another supernatural panel. Who knows? It's too early to tell. They haven't opened up applications yet, but if it is something you want to see, listen, if you want to request us to do a whole thing, you can do that. You can message conventions and say you want these people to host supernatural panels.
Yeah,
Just saying.
Hopsgeeknews is the best Best podcast out there.
Help us out, help us out. Help us, because nobody else is doing supernatural panels, so why not us, right? But
At least
Hopsgeek
at
News,
MegaCon,
that's
yeah.
right. Yes, any real convention, but that we know of. Go
The
find us, go
Supernatural
follow
convention.
us.
Well, they
Thanks
have
for
their own
listening.
conventions. Maybe that's why. Who knows?
Yeah,
Who
who
knows?
knows? We'll see you guys next time. Thank you for hanging out with us.